is Marcy. Welcome to my channel, Amnicon Studio. If you are new here, welcome, welcome. And if you are a returning friend, welcome back. If you are new here, let me introduce myself a little bit. My hobbies include cross-stitching, knitting, crocheting, spinning, baking, sewing, a little bit of quilting, and probably a bit more things, including gardening and chicken keeping. If you have any questions about what I show in today's video, feel free to leave a comment or send me an email at amniconstudio@gmail.com. Email is also listed down in the show notes, along with my blog address. I blog at amniconstudio.blogspot.com. All right, with all the intros out of the way, it has been probably about a week since I last recorded. My last Vlogmas video was on Tuesday, December 22nd, 23rd, December 23rd. The last week or so has just been a blur. I had a very nice Christmas holiday. Both my husband and my son was home, and we had a nice holiday meal, and I got a few goodies for my hobbies. One you've seen already in previous videos, which was the tablet my husband got for me right after Thanksgiving, because my old Kindle died, and he saw the frustration I was having with trying to get Pattern Keeper onto my newer Kindle, and he asked what I needed. He found it on Amazon and ordered it, and it was here the next day, which I'm still not used to that, being where I am. They had a hub open up over in Hermantown, Minnesota, less than 6 months ago, so it's this next day and actual 2-day delivery is all still pretty new to me. The other thing I got was and I forgot to grab it. I'll put a photo in. Unexpected phone call shut my video off. So the book that I received from one of my sister-in-laws was I think it's called Cross Stitch Across America National Parks book. It's miniature cross stitches, and I had it on my Amazon wish list, and I can't wait to pick one out and give it a try. I did a quick flip through on the book already, and I think I would like to try, there was at least one of the Badlands, and I want to give that one a go this year as the first one, which, talking about this book reminds me that there's so many other charts and books that I have that I want to start, but I just need more time. From my sister-in-law, I received some gardening things that would just make starting seeds in the house a little bit easier. It is I can't remember what they're called, but they're basically little tarps that you can pin up the sides, and if you're up potting anything or seed starting, it's like you can contain the soil and not make such a big mess. And then my son spoiled me greatly with a Hobby Lobby gift card, and yeah, that one's kind of burning a hole in my pocket already, but I've already purchased everything that I need for the upcoming crafting year. I had to get up and grab something else, so I went ahead and just grabbed the book, Stitching Across America. I was pretty close on the name. And then when I was doing a quick flip through before hitting record again, I was just going to show something, and then I realized that's not an actual picture. The pictures are all charts, so I can't share that. But there was one for the Isle Royale. I never receive phone calls, ever. And now in the last 10 minutes, I've received 2. And the second one was an automated call, and I'm kind of annoyed now. So the phone is on Do Not Disturb, so hopefully I don't get any more disturbances. I don't even remember where I left off. Okay, gonna try this again. I had to get up and go get something, so I grabbed the book anyways, and I was pretty correct, I think, on the name. Stitching Across America, National Parks. I was gonna show a picture of the chart for the Isle Royale National Park, which is near me, but it's in Lake Superior, and then I realized that I really can't because the pictures are the charts. Maybe I'll just do a quick flash like that. I'm sorry, I'm just having a moment. So 66 teeny weeny cross stitch patterns celebrating the U.S. National Parks. I saw this book on Mare's one of Mare's videos last fall. Mare over at Sin City Stitcher. Go check her out. And that was it for gifts from the family. I have received a few things in the mail, which I realized I forgot one of the other things. Again, hold please. All right. First thing I want to share is a giveaway I won from Kat over at Stitchin' with the Griffin. She celebrated a recent YouTube subscription milestone, and she did a few giveaways for that. And I won the Santa crochet, actually, a crochet ornament. Can't read it backwards. And that arrived in the mail. It's very cute, and I can't wait to give it a try. I'll probably start this late fall 2026. The next thing I received is from Coggie over at the High Fiber Diet Podcast. Her channel will be listed in the show notes. So will Kat's channel be listed in the show notes. Month ago or so, Coggie was going through all her bags and sharing, and said that she was going to be doing a destash, and she asked if anybody would be interested in some of the bags that she still had from when she was running knitting retreats. I said I would love one because I didn't know about her back when she was doing the treats, although I think one of my knit sibs attended one of them. So Coggie, if you're watching this and you remember Belinda, I'm friends with Belinda. Anyways, so I got this fun bag in the mail. It says Knittin' in the Mitten, High Fiber Diet Podcast. And then she surprised me with another bag, which it's wrinkled because I tucked it in the bag, the other bag. Yarn, an important part of my high fiber diet. Another cute saying and logo to go with it. And then she really spoiled me. She also included, excuse me, some sock yarn. Deconstructed fade sock from Shirley Bryan in the Aslan colorway. And being that I'm not really as involved in the knitting community as I was when I first started knitting, this is a brand new dyer to me. So thank you, Coggie, for everything. I feel very spoiled. And then the last thing I received was from Jess over at Loomy Stitches, who also has a floss tube channel listed down below. She contacted me and asked for my address because she wanted to send me something, and she sent me this really lovely cross stitch ornament. And she said the name of the charts. I want to say it was Windswept Santas. She mentions it in her most recent floss tube episode. But it was so pretty and it's so well done. And I'm just in awe that she sent it to me. She also sent a few goodies in there as well. Needle minder, a couple hair ties, and a cute little pillow that she beaded the edges of. And I think she said that it can be used for a words. When I think of the name, I'll put it down there. But the thing that you can attach to scissor fob. Oh my gosh. It's for a scissor fob. And she included, oops, one sec. She included some cute little buttons. Before getting the package together, she contacted me again and asked if I'd be interested in a cross-stitch kit she had that, well, she liked it, but she knew she wouldn't have time to stitch it. And I said, sure. And she sent me Joy Sunday cross-stitch, the kitchen corner. And when I saw it, I said, oh, I really like that, and I know of a spot in my kitchen for it. So it came with everything. And it'll be my first time doing one of the pre-printed Ada charts. So I'm excited about that. And it came with the thread already done up. So I don't even have to worry about that. That's really nice too. So thank you very much, Jess. All right, well, I guess now it's time for the meat and potatoes of it, maybe? I don't know. I wrote show notes. I haven't looked at them yet. My show notes are not in order of anything in particular, so I have a feeling this is gonna be a slightly chaotic video, which is fine. Is it too late to say what I wanted this video to be about? I wanted to show current recent finishes, touch base on current works in progress, and then chat a little bit about things I would like to do in 2026. Yeah. All right, so first thing I want to share is that let me flip to the back page of the notes. I'm trying so hard to not forget anything. Recent finishes, the most recent finish I have, which if you read my most recent blog post, you already know what it is. It is the granny square crochet along that I'm doing with Kat over at Stitchin' with the Griffin. It's hosted over by Madam Stitch, and I guess she's been doing granny square crochet alongs for the last several years. My first time with it, I started October 2025. I used stash yarns. In the last video I shared, I said that I was like so over this blanket, and I just couldn't wait to get done with it because I was just having a hard time with the instructions. I would try to make the square to how I read it, and they weren't coming out right, so I just gave up on. I didn't try too hard, and then I went to YouTube and found a different granny square to insert in place of. And I will say, even a couple of times with YouTube videos, my squares weren't looking like what was being shown, so I'd give up on those and I'd start a different one. And then as I was chatting with a friend about a crochet along I'm going to do with her, she reminded me of how different UK terms can be with US terms, and that was kind of a dull moment. All that to say is that I finished my granny square crochet blanket. I didn't think I would like it. I got all the squares done. I seamed them all together. I put a border on it, and I really like it. It is not going to be a gift to anybody. I'm going to keep it for myself. I've already used it a bunch of times since I finished it on, I think it was Saturday. It's the perfect size for when you're sitting in a chair and you just need a little something to warm your legs. So let me put you back a little bit. And I will stand up and show it. I am really pleased with how it turned out. I just did a white border with a double crochet, US term. And yeah, that one's gonna stay here. The other one I want to share, I need to pause and come back for. I finished my Neon Cicada cross stitch piece. I'll put a picture here for a close-up so you guys can see how it looks close up. I'm not going to stand up in front of the camera. This is Neon Cicada by Bad Stitch. I purchased it off of Etsy. I started it November 5th, 2025. I finished it November 30th, 2025. Somehow I feel like it was actually longer, but that was my notes. I was inspired by Katherine over at Katherine Stitching Chronicles to stitch it on a shirt. I think she went with white where I chose to go with black to help it really pop. And all that's left is I need to find a piece of that stuff you put on the back to cover the stitches. I can't think of what that stuff's called right off the top of my head. And I would like to stitch this a second time, but on a regular piece of black Aida cloth and stick it up on the wall, because I'm not sure. I love this. I love how it turned out so much, but I'm almost afraid to wear it. So I'm not sure how much use this shirt will get. Next, I want to share very quickly about the current works in progress that I have that I'll be carrying on into 2026. I was debating on whether to take pictures and then share them over here, but I've got my bucket of stuff right here, so maybe I'll just undo it as we go along. The first thing I want to share that it doesn't get as much love as it should, and that is my porcupine cross stitch piece from Purple Stitching over on Etsy.com. I started this in 2024 for a birthday stitch for myself. I don't have any stats on it, I don't think. Wow, I am so prepared. Yep, June 27th, 2024, 14 count Aida that I purchased from Forbidden Fiber Co. way back when. There's like 49 colors. The reason why I wanted to stitch it is because we had a porcupine living on our property back in late 2019, early 2020. That's what the chart looks like. The porcupine, I have a blog post about this funny little creature, but he kind of went internet famous when I shared a video about him on, or her, on a Facebook group called What's Outside Your Window, I think it's called. I haven't looked at that group in a really long time. But it was a bright spot in, you know, what was kind of a really bleak, dark time for a lot of us with everything that was going on at that point. So I like to say that we were caretakers of this creature to make sure that it survived the winter. And then on Earth Day, which is really appropriate, 2020 was the last time we saw it. It walked off into the woods and we never saw it again. And every time I happen to see a porcupine on one of the game cams, or when I'm sitting out in the tree blinds and see one or hear one, I always wonder if it's our sweet little Porkie still around. I know porcupines get a bad rap for things, but I don't know, once you're able to interact with a creature like that and you can see just how gentle they are, and they're not hurtful, they don't want to hurt you. You know, it was a really wonderful experience and one that I will always treasure. So I wanted to make a porcupine piece to kind of commemorate that, and I haven't gotten very far. The top corner, pretty dark. I don't think I have like even 2,000 stitches on it. Funny, not haha, funny story. When my Kindle died on me, I didn't have a backup. And I didn't have a backup on this. So I had to spend one evening very carefully going through and figuring out all the stitches that I had stitched on this and marking them on my new pattern keeper, which when I was done, I immediately created a backup and put it up in the cloud. But yeah, I went line by line and counted over, and I've actually probably have at least 1,500 stitches on here so far, and I haven't really wanted to touch it during end of November or December because I was focusing on the Christmas stuff. That is going to change. I have a goal. I would like to, but I don't know if it is feasible to get 1,000 stitches a week on it. Frankly, I would be happy to get 500 stitches a week on it. I want to make a lot of progress on this. In terms of full coverage pieces, I think this is probably on the smaller side, around 64 or 65,000 stitches. And I'm doing full cross. When I started this, I did not know that 10 stitch was a thing. So, but I'm not going to give up on it or start over because there is a whole lot of fabric here. I got the needle minders from Sweet Georgia. Etsy site will be down in the show notes, but I really loved her customer service, so I like to plug her as much as I can just because I was so pleased with it. All right, that's one. Next up is my Mother's Garden by Blackbird Designs. This was given to me by my sister-in-law for birthday present. I started this January 1st, 2025. I have not hardly touched it once I got to a certain point. Fabric is Belfast linen, my first time working with it, in white. It's 32 count. I'm using the DMC conversion. Here are all the floss. I'm pretty sure I haven't touched this since the first quarter of the year. started working on the border and got that far, started working on that. I got tired of working on the border and stitched this because I was desperate for another color. I was stitching this on, I think, a regular hoop, and then I decided I wanted to try it on a scroll frame. So I contacted Sarahthenorthwoodsstitcher and asked her which scroll frame she had recently purchased, and she gave me the link to it, and I got everything on here and then just haven't touched it since. So I'd like to get that going. The next piece I'm going to share is a daily reminder by Brenda Gervais. I started this on June 25th, 2025. I'm doing this as a stitch along with Sarah at Sarah's Stitchy Spot, Holly at Hobbies of Holly, Judy Stitching Bunny, and another gal named Marcy, who, as far as I know, doesn't have any social media presence, and I'm sure has no idea I'm stitching this along with it. I purchased it at Farm Dry Goods. Fabric is 14 count Aida that I dyed, so it is brown with green splashes. I am choosing the floss colors as I go along, which kind of looks like a hot mess right now. And I still have other floss in the bag, so I don't even know if this is all that I'll be using. It's been a while since I touched this. Here we are so far. I am really enjoying the stitch. I feel that if I just kind of put my nose to the grindstone on this one, I could have it completed in no time. I'd say the hardest part that I've done on this so far has been that tree, and I have a second tree to do. All the colors I chose intentionally. I think on one of my videos I explained why I chose the colors I did. Well, that one I just thought looked like fence color. Red for roses, yellow because this looked like a flower that I see on the ditches alongside the road in the summertime up here. Because I thought that was a good basket color. I remembered that there's a border I still have to do on this. I don't want to do the border that it calls for. I had an idea for a different kind of border, and of course now I don't remember what that is. So by the time I am done with this, maybe I'll remember what I wanted to do for the border. Looking at my notes, and that is all that I have for cross stitch current works in progress. The other things that I wanted to talk about, well, it's my spinning. I haven't touched my spinning in a very long time. I have this bag of fiber that I want to spin up so I can knit another sweater, but I can't make the sweater until I spin the wool, and I don't know what my hang up is on that, so I gotta be intentional about doing that next year. And then the other thing I have here is my quilt top that I think is called Dancing Stars quilt top. I finished that this past summer. I'll put a picture of it up here because there's no way I'm pulling it out right now and trying to show it because it's a king or queen sized quilt top. It's ginormous, and it's so big that I am intimidated by how to finish it. I have everything I need to go with it. I just don't know if I want to attempt to machine quilt it, hand quilt it, or tie it. I don't want to mess this up. And I'm pretty sure I said that the last time I talked about it too. But the points I got so well done that I don't want to do anything to cause any puckers or imperfections or anything. So I'm still letting that marinate a little bit, but I really need to get this project done so I can enjoy it. The next is the projects I want to start in the new year. Well, I'm just looking to make sure that I don't have anything else to share on this. I've got a small list of things that I would like to start at some point in the upcoming year, not necessarily all in January. I've got Portrait of a Snapping Turtle by Mud Puppy Stitchery. I contacted her and said that I would like to do a model stitch for her. Which pieces did she still need a model piece done for, and I would stitch it for her if I had it in my collection, which at this point I think I have almost everything, and I know that even if I didn't, she would have given it to me so I could stitch it for her. So I plan on starting that project very soon. I've got the stuff right here. One second. All right, well, I had the picture of the chart up there. It's gonna go in my chicken bag. I have the floss all ready to go. The fob here is, I used one of the stickers from the Bird Crush Club from Lindy Stitches, and I made all of these fun little fobs to go with my floss rings. And the fabric that I chose to go with the snapping turtle, I can't believe I had to look at that, is this. It is 14 count toast, Ada from Hobby Lobby. I was trying to think of what color would look good on the background and kind of complement these, which I can't tell if they're showing true. But I thought it would be good. If I decide I don't like it, I will look up colors and probably try my hand at dyeing some Ada fabric myself and restarting it. My first thought was to go with green, but then I thought, snapping turtles, maybe I'm overthinking this one, because we rescued a snapping turtle several years ago. We found on the side of the road that was like basically starving during, I think, one of the worst droughts that our area had. So it was probably 2011 or 2012, I can't remember which. So that turtle is spoiled too. Brought him home, kind of rehabbed him and got him better, and then released him back where we found him on the recommendation of somebody we know who actually works at she either worked at the local zoo or the aquarium, I can't remember which. She was a daughter of a friend and coworker of mine, and we asked advice on how to approach this. So I'd like to think that that snapping turtle is living somewhere happily. Fingers crossed. And yes, I do stop for turtles. So that is the next thing that I would like to make, is that chart. Sometime back, I won a chart off of Stitching with My Kitties with Patty. She's having her birthday in February, and it turns out that this chart is what she wants to stitch up for her birthday sale, and she asked if I would participate in it, and I said sure, I would love to. So that will be started, I think, February 3rd. Patty, correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I didn't just flash the chart, but I think it's going to be a really cute one. I am using I have 14 count silver Ada, again from Hobby Lobby. And this chart has a deceptive number of colors in it. Because when I first looked at that, I thought, I didn't think that was possible. There's like 12 colors in it. So I got this all kitted up over the weekend, so it'll be ready to go. The next one that I kitted up to have ready to go for the upcoming year is Western Meadowlark by Lindy Stitches. It was part of the Bird Crush Club. I've got, doesn't call for as many colors. And then there's Threadworks that goes with it, which is called Garden Rock. Oh. The fabric I chose for this one is 14 count Ada in vintage blue. Although I was looking at that and I'm kind of thinking about putting a very light green wash on this and see how that turns out, because I kind of like that. It's a little brighter, so we'll give that one a go. The Bird Crush Club also came with that. And there's some more stickers in here. And I made a scissor fob for it. It's around here somewhere. So I'll have to find that before I start this one. So I have some pretty bling to go with it. The next thing I want to share is something that I don't think really has a name for it, so I just call it Sampler from Craftsy class. It's something that I've had for probably 4 years now, back when I had a Craftsy subscription. And I think I just played it to see if I could learn anything new from it, but it was it was a basic class. I mean, it was enjoyable to watch, but I didn't really learn anything new about it. And I don't know. This is what it looks like. So I have had the colors all picked out for that for several years now. And then there's one that I'm using this in place of the fancy floss that I called for, which I don't remember what it. Variegated Gloriana thread, silk over dyed, 255 Cotswold Garden. And I looked, let's see, I think there was a picture of the sampler on the thumbnail for the class, and I tried to match that as close as I could. But yeah, this is also from when I first learned how to make floss drops, courtesy of a video from Stacy over at the 911 Stitcher. Thank you, Stacy. So these have just been waiting for me to start this up. And for a long time, I wondered where all my embroidery hoops were that I had bought. I forgot that I threw hoops in a lot of these projects. Oh, the fabric. It's 14 count. I don't know the name of it or anything. I'm assuming it came from Hobby Lobby. Maybe it's Rustico. I don't know. Yeah, literally all ready to go. And this will be in a bag that I got from Fat Quarter Shop from one of their Stitch Quarterlies, if I remember right. I was having a chat with one of my knit sibs very recently, and she mentioned wanting to start a Battenberg blanket. And I'm familiar with that one because someone that I watch, Joan over at Mama Nevin's Knits, is currently making one with, I think she said sock yarn. And I said, hey, I know what blanket that is. And I was actually thinking about trying my hand at one too, but with worsted weight yarn, because I do not have that many sock yarn scraps. Considering all the yarn that I have, the socks that I've made, I think in the past years I've just offered them up to anybody who wanted them for their own sock projects. So I don't have that many, but I do have lots of worsted weight yarn and scrap worsted weight yarn, which is all the, sorry, I'm looking at the blanket, like you can see what I'm looking at. I've got a lot of worsted weight yarn and I don't know what to do with it. So I will be doing a crochet along of this blanket with my friend Leann, who also has a floss tube channel, Leann Stitches. Link will also be in the show notes. So she's doing a thinner yarn than me. I want to say that she is doing sock weight yarn. And I have a feeling that even though I'm using the bigger yarn, she's probably going to be done sooner than me. Oh well, the fun is the process, right? And then there is, my last video, Kat over at Stitchin' with the Griffin asked if she said if I was interested in doing a crochet along for anything, that she was game for it. And I said, well, actually, yeah, I would like to do something so I can use up my scrap yarns, but I want something that looks nice, that I won't get tired of stitching. And I said, do you know of anything that would look nice in a lot of different colors? And she said, well, what about that first square in the granny square crochet along that we did? And I went back and looked and I said, yeah, I like that one. I remember not having a lot of problems with it. And then I remembered it. The lady also did a video for it. So if I have any issues with the instructions, I can go look at the video. So Kat, if you're still game for a crochet along for that granny square, let me know. I'll be using worsted weight stash yarn for that. I'm not well, I really like the 36 by 48 inch size of blanket for throwing on me while I'm on the chair or on the couch. I'm kind of thinking I might like to make this one a little bit bigger, but I'm not 100% certain on that yet, because it's easy to talk now, but then when I want to do 16 or 20 squares, that might be a little daunting there later on the year when I'm towards the end and I just want to get it done. So I think that one I'll just leave open-ended for how big I want it to be. The next thing I want to start this year, and I have the yarn for it, and I just haven't started, is an Armande sweater by Andy Satterland, which it's over at knitty.com. I already knit this sweater, and it's one of my favorite sweaters. I'm going to give this one a try, knitting it in acrylic and knitting it in the color as the sample of the sweater. I'll have a picture here because I really like the color of it, but I'm red is my favorite color, as Pat Sloan would say, red, everything red. So I want to start that, and I think I'm a little more seasoned with my sweater knitting now. And then one that I've had for a while now is the Snowy Season Cardigan by MJ Off the Hook Designs. And I learned about that one from Jackie over at A Nurse and Her Needle. And if I have your name wrong, I am sorry, because it's been a while since you and I have chatted. But I saw her working on one, and it has pockets and it has an interesting construction, and I immediately went over to Etsy and purchased it. I picked out the yarn that I already had. I decided I'm going to use this yarn for it, and then I did nothing with it about it. So I would like to start. Once I get these projects started, I'll have no problem like working on them, but it's so much easier for me to focus on what I've already got going versus starting new. I mean, it's nice to start new, but I also think, well, you can start, but then you got to keep going. And if, yeah, it's always fun to start. Oh, another cross stitch project, which I don't have kitted up, but I think I have everything for it. It is USA 250 by Wrought Iron Stitching. I know a lot of people were working on this other cross stitch piece for the 250th sesquicentennial, if I said it right. It's the pretty eagle with the Quakers around it, and I like that one. I think that one's really pretty. However, when I saw this one in a Facebook group, I think I just fell in love with it and decided that was the one. And along that same theme, I don't remember what I was originally looking up, but I was over at 123 Stitch, and I found a two chart design called Independent Bun, and each chart is of a rabbit, in Independence Day attire, and I just love the name of that one, so I had to order that one too, along with the floss. I actually went with the recommended floss on that one, so I don't have that one yet either, but at some point I think I'd like to start that one in June maybe. This USA 250 I would like to start sooner, because it doesn't look too big to me, but it might be bigger than I think it is. So that is all the stuff that I have written down of stuff that I for sure would like to start in the upcoming year. I know there's going to be other charts here and there that I may fall in love with and have to order. There will be other charts that I may decide now is the time to start it, along with knitting projects and crochet projects. I've got somewhere around here, I have a yarn set up and ready to go to cast on for yet another pair of vanilla socks. That will be my car stitching once I get it started. I've learned my lesson about starting socks while in the car. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. What else is here? Oh, the yarn that I want to start out with for the Battenberg will be this. I thought this might be nice to start out with. I'm not sure how many. I've actually got almost 2 full skeins of this, so I could wind up with quite a few squares for this blanket with that. Oh, and then of course, I guess this one's not really on my radar because I had just been working on it so steadily for December, and I'm not going to put it away completely until next winter, but I'd like to get it done hopefully before Christmas next year so I can have it on display. And that's my advent piece. Yeah, I haven't touched it since my last floss tube. I instead chose to focus on the blanket and get that done with. Just looking around at the carnage around me. Let's see, touch base on that. Reading, you'd never know, but I grew up a reader. I read everything I could get my hands on. I was probably reading books that a couple of my teachers were like, "Are you sure she should be reading that?" I'm a child of the late 80s, early 90s, and I think everybody was reading V.C. Andrews. Of course, now I look back at it and go, wow, I can't believe I was reading that. Books that I still need to finish reading. The Obituary Society, which was recommended by Kat. Wuthering Heights. I know a lot of people love this book, and I caught discussion about it on a knitting podcast because there's a movie coming out in February based on it. I've never read it, and I decided, I'm gonna do it and see what the big to-do about it is and why Heathcliff is so adored, I guess, is the word I'm thinking of. I am not liking these characters, so it's taken me probably 4 months to read this book. Which I know you're probably thinking, why keep reading it, Marcy? Well, I am so far into it that I might as well finish it. And I've got that on the Kindle or the Libby app through my library. I don't remember which. And something's going on with the Libby app right now, and it's not recognizing my account, so I've got to figure that one out still. I'm still listening to The Fellowship of the Ring. My husband's already on the 3rd book now, and this is one that I kind of have to be in the mood for, I guess. I mean, once I get going, I really enjoy the story. But yeah, if you've listened to the audiobook at all, there's a lot of sing-songs in it, and I have a hard time with that one. My husband has a hard time with that one too, and I think a big part of why that one took him so long is because years back we were listening to, I cannot remember the name of the series, the Castor series. It was about witches, and there was a lot of singing on that one too, and we both just kind of grimaced and bared through it, so it's kind of trauma inducing, I suppose, for that one. I will be starting a new book as a read along with my friend Sarah, Wild Dark Shore. I don't know the name of the author. I forgot to write it down, but I need to start using that part of my brain again, because the last couple of years I haven't listened to books or read books much, and that's due to things that were going on. And by the end of the day, I didn't want to have to think, so I just kind of turned on the TV and tuned out, and then went to bed and woke up and did it all over again. Anything else I want to share? Well, I know there's things that I want to do also that I don't have written down. There's cross stitch I need to fully finish. There's sewing and quilting projects that I'd like to do. I've collected so many things over the last several years, and it's time for me to start actually working on what I have been accumulating. And that, I think, is a running theme for a lot of us in the cross-stitch community and probably the knitting community. Although I don't watch a lot of knitting podcasts, so I couldn't say for certain. But yeah, the thread that I'm seeing that ties us all together is to start working with what we have rather than ordering more. So, not that I'm saying I'll not order this next year. In fact, saying that I'm not going to order any stuff for projects or buy any more craft supplies, will pretty much guarantee that I will. So I'm looking forward to the next year with kind of a, this is what I feel like working on right now attitude. Probably no deadlines on anything. I say that now, but once we get closer to, say, Christmas time or someone's birthday or something, I might be like, I need to finish this now. And now that I think about it, if I want to craft for anybody for their birthday or Christmas, I suppose I should start thinking about that now so I'm not caught off guard. All right, you remember back in, was it September, October? I celebrated 7 years on YouTube making videos, and I did that with a WIP parade, which is funny that I kind of did a WIP parade now when really nothing changed. I also did a giveaway. Do you recognize this sweet little girl? I did a drawing, and the person that was picked has not reached out to me. I've gone more than 30 days. It might be 60 days since then. So I need to do a drawing for this girl so she can have a new home. And I suppose I need to pick a winner. I'm recording on my phone, so I suppose I have to grab my computer and choose a winner. All right, there is my thing. I'm clicking on it. I hope I'm doing this right because I just picked another website for random comment picking and I didn't look to see how to do it. All right, maybe I should have read this a little bit more before I hit and record because there's a lot of stuff going on here. How to select the winner, select your raffle, press the get YouTube comments to load, oh, okay, press start. Oh. Sin City Cross Stitcher, congratulations! So, Mare, send me a email at amnaconstudio@gmail.com and let me know your address so I can send this girl out to you as soon as possible. A lot of times I don't know how to start these videos when I get ready to hit record, and for some reason this time around I'm having a hard time thinking of a way to end this video. It's been a bit of a crazy month with making videos this month. I would say that I'm definitely feeling more comfortable being in front of the camera and talking to myself, but those intros are still hard to do, and I wish I could just make one static little snip of a video with an intro and then just insert that in for every time, so I could just hit record and just go, okay, well, today on this issue of Amnicon Studio we're gonna talk about blah 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 blah. But yeah, this one, I guess it's because it's the last video of the year, and I've been giving some thought to how I want to make videos next year, and honestly, I'm still not sure. I've dabbled with the idea of trying to make videos once a week, staying with the 2-week frame, and you know, I think I'm just gonna make videos as I go. And I think every time that in the past where I've tried to do well, I'm going to record every 2 weeks, every week, every 3 weeks, whatever it might be, something happens and I can't meet that goal that I've set for myself. So I will strive for at least every 2 weeks, but we'll see. It might be more frequent than that, just depending on how I feel, I suppose. And then come later in early spring, I'll be busy with seed starting, and gardening will be going on, which there is something about this time of year. I mean, I know what it is, but it's because I live in such a cooler climate than most of the gardeners that I watch on YouTube and know. We have to start seeds a little bit sooner so they have a little bit more time to grow. I am just getting the itch to start seeds so bad right now, and I know, don't do it. Last year with the greenhouse, I've learned that I do not need to start things as soon as I used to have to start them, because the greenhouse is did such a fantastic job last year of keeping things protected from the frost. And I was out there with 5-gallon buckets of water, and that was getting heated up by the sun and keeping the temperature above freezing at night. So I keep reminding myself I don't need to start things as soon as I used to. But yeah, that kind of content will start appearing on my videos as well. A few people really enjoyed the chicken photos and videos that I inserted on the end of some of my videos, and just kind of randomly popped up on the channel too. So I'm going to try to do that more frequently. But again, I got to remember to bring my phone with me so I can make videos. Yeah, I lost my train of thought while I was talking. So I created a Patreon, and I'm going to load project cards, downloadable project cards to it that you can go to and download and then print out as many as you'd like, just as a way to say thank you, because I think you all are great. And if there is a better way to do this, so that people can go and download and they don't have to do a bunch of filling things out or make a donation or anything like that, please let me know, because I wanted people to feel comfortable to just go and download it and not have to email me or go through a rigmarole in order to get a nice freebie. So that as soon as I figure that out, I will post those to my Patreon. But again, if there's something out there that is better than this, please let me know. Thank you. I wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you to everybody who has watched me over the last year. Thank you for choosing me. You like me. You really like me. And just know that it is so appreciated. Working on videos and interacting with everybody has brought me a lot of joy in the last year. And I look forward to more of the meaningful interactions and connections in the upcoming year. I still have no fancy outro, so until I think of one, stay safe, stay warm, stay cozy, and I'll see you next year. Bye.